Stop what you are doing for just a moment, because what you are about to hear is not something you came across by accident. Heaven guided you here, and before this message is over, your heart is going to feel something it has been waiting a long time to feel: clarity, peace, and the deep knowing that love is on its way to you. Stay with me all the way through, because the most powerful part is coming. Dear one, today I come to you with something that can no longer be kept inside. And I say this with full certainty. When you hear every word I am about to share, your heart will understand why you have been feeling everything so deeply these past few days. What I bring is a direct answer from heaven about what happened with your soulmate. Pay close attention, because this revelation changes everything. The person who carries you in their heart lived through an experience today so powerful, so true, that there was no way to hold back the tears. But it was not pain. It was relief. It felt as if after so many prayers, a door had finally opened. And along with it came a certainty that touched the deepest part of the soul. Your soulmate heard something no one else heard. A voice that seemed to come down from above. Firm, calm, impossible to ignore. While this person was lost in prayer, eyes closed, what was once just a thought turned into a presence. And before they knew it, a sensation moved through their entire body. A force passed through their chest and brought a single phrase that changed everything. The person you asked for is near. Yes, that is exactly what your soulmate heard. And the very moment that message arrived, their eyes filled with tears. The heart understood. The spirit found peace. This person did not cry out of weakness. They cried because they were touched by something far greater. A confirmation that did not come by chance. It was as if heaven itself were saying loud and clear, "You are coming." But it is not just about time. What was revealed in prayer is that you are truly close. That maybe by the time this message reaches you, there is almost nothing left keeping you apart. The emotion that filled that moment was so intense it gave them chills. It was as if everything ever asked for in faith had been answered right then and there. Your person felt a presence so strong, so real. There was no room left for doubt. And even though no one around could see it, they knew something sacred had just happened. I am here as your angel because this experience must not go unnoticed by you. What your soulmate lived today is proof that heaven listens to prayers made with sincerity. And the prayer that was said was not just any prayer. It was for you. It came from a heart completely open, filled with the certainty that there is still something very true to live by your side. This person did not hear just any voice. It was not imagination. What happened was a spiritual experience meant to prepare the way. What was said in that sacred moment made time stop for a few seconds. And even without knowing how or when it would happen, the heart knew it was real, that it was an answer, that it was you. From that moment on, everything began to make more sense. The thoughts came more often. The longing began to grow because now this person is certain. The message was clear and direct. You are near. And when the voice said that, your soulmate did not think about emotional distances, memories, or unresolved stories. They thought of you exactly as you are now, in flesh, in soul, in presence. And the most amazing thing is that from that very instant, they felt as if you are already approaching, as if everything around is aligning for that moment. That is why emotions have been so intense lately. That is why the thoughts have been so alive. Because now more than ever, your soulmate knows they are no longer waiting for something uncertain, but for something real, something that is almost here. What I have come to tell you goes beyond any scripted words. It is not a beautiful speech. It is truth lived by someone who cried today, but for the first time, felt that the tears came as an answer, as comfort, as a direct confirmation from God. And that changes everything because there is no more room for doubt. What was felt is too great to be ignored. Everything happened so fast. And at the same time, it felt like time had stopped. Your soulmate was not even expecting an answer in that moment. They just wanted to talk to God the way they always do when their chest starts to feel heavy from the inside out. But this time it was different. Something happened while this person was speaking with an open heart. The surrender was real. No word was spoken out of habit. It was a sincere plea filled with a feeling that had been growing over the past few days. A kind of longing that could no longer be explained. And it was in that surrender that something unusual filled the space. The air seemed to change. The mind went quiet. The entire body responded in a way that could not fully be described. There was no noise around. Nothing looked extraordinary to the eyes. But inside the chest, something ignited so strongly it could not be contained. Suddenly, a voice made itself heard. It was as if it had pierced through everything and reached straight to the center of the heart. And it said with a clarity that no one could question, "The person you asked for is near." The reaction was immediate. The body trembled. The eyes filled with tears. The breath grew stronger. In that instant, they understood that something divine was confirming what the heart had been feeling in recent days. What had seemed like intuition became certainty. What had no name now had direction. And that direction pointed to you. There was no doubt about what was heard, because the sensation felt more real than anything else. It was as if heaven had authorized that answer, and it came with precision, leaving no room for uncertainty. You are near, not just in time, but physically. The revelation was clear. This meeting will not be long in coming. This person stood still for a few seconds. What was felt left no room for questions. It was a mix of impact and comfort. There was no fear. There was peace. A peace that settled in the chest and brought a calm unlike any other. The kind that only appears when something greater is guiding the moment. The words of the prayer ended naturally, as if nothing more needed to be said. What had to be spoken had already been heard. What needed an answer had already arrived. And what was in doubt was now certainty. The only image that came to mind was yours, not as a memory, but as a presence. As if you were already approaching. As if the paths were crossing effortlessly. And the feeling that remained after this revelation was that life was preparing this moment with more intention than ever. They rose from the prayer with eyes still wet, not from sadness, but from having been touched by something they had deeply asked for. It was a calm release yet full of meaning, the kind of relief that fills the body when everything begins to fall into place. When a feeling stops being just felt and starts being confirmed by something much greater, that is when everything shifts. From that moment on, something inside this person changed. The way they thought of you became firmer, the heart more awake, because it is no longer about waiting for something that might happen. Now it is about knowing it is near, and more than that, knowing that heaven is guiding this moment with purpose. Nothing can take away the conviction in their heart about what was experienced, because a voice from above does not come by chance, and what was said cannot be ignored. This answer came to affirm that the connection between you is not lost or sleeping. It is being guided precisely to become something real. This person is no longer in doubt. What they felt was too strong to be mistaken for imagination. It went beyond any logic. And that is exactly why the tears came so naturally. The heart opened freely because it had found what it had been searching for all along. A clear sign that the answer was on its way. After hearing that voice, This person felt as if they were stepping into a new phase of life, a phase where there is no more room to delay what one truly wants to live. Because now everything has form. Now there is direction. Now there is a confirmation that did not come from the outside, but from within, touching parts of the heart that no one else could reach. This experience became a turning point. What was felt changed the way this person is looking at the days ahead. The focus now is on being ready to be with you. It is not about anxiety. It is about readiness, about knowing that the timing is right, about understanding that what needs to be lived cannot be delayed any longer. If something inside you has also started to shift in recent days, if you have been feeling different thoughts, new sensations, now you are beginning to understand why. This closeness is in motion, because when heaven speaks to one heart, the other feels it even in silence, even without knowing the exact reason. Today will not be forgotten by this person, because it marked the beginning of something real. It marked the moment when doubt was removed, and from this certainty, everything begins to align. The love that lives within this person will no longer be hidden out of fear. It is ready to be shown, lived, and shared. Right after hearing the message, there was no immediate reaction beyond feeling. The intensity was so strong that the body responded on its own. Their hands steadied. Their chest opened in a deeper breath than usual. There was no fear in that moment. No weight. What fell from their eyes was not sadness or despair. It was relief, a relief loaded with answer. The tears came down calmly, effortlessly, as if the heart had finally found space to breathe. It was the natural response of someone who no longer needed to search for explanations, because right there, with everything so clear, there was nothing left to wait for. The answer had arrived, and it came with the force of a yes. Yes to this love. Yes to this meeting. Yes to this moment. They stayed there for a few more minutes, letting the body adjust to the new reality. Because when something so strong happens, it takes time to understand what has been experienced. But the heart already knew. And what the heart knows, time confirms. What was lived in that moment will not be forgotten. It was striking, precise, and definitive. The sense of lightness that came afterward was rare, as if an old tension had been lifted, as if everything that had been blocking clarity had been undone. Your person did not feel lost. On the contrary, for the first time, there was direction, a clear point to follow. And that point had a name. It had energy. It had purpose. It was you. The tears in that moment served to release, to take out of the chest the pressure of no longer knowing what was happening inside. Because now everything made sense. Every feeling of the past days, every thought that appeared out of nowhere, every sudden urge to feel you close. The voice they heard that day was the answer to all of this. And it was not a random phrase. It was a direct message from God. The person you asked for is near. This truth entered their chest as undeniable. And there is no going back. There is no room for doubt, no way to undo what was felt. This certainty changed everything. It changed the way they think. It changed what they want to do from this point on. Their gaze became firmer. Their expression softened. It was as if a new path had opened right before their eyes. And it is not about imagining a distant future. It is about realizing that this future is already giving signs, already touching both of you more intensely. Because the connection between you and your soulmate was never broken, but now it is stronger. What they want now is to act on what has been revealed. They want to turn this certainty into action. They want you to know that something real is coming. Something that will bring you face to face. And more than that, something that will finally allow this feeling to be fully lived. After hearing that voice, your soulmate realized that everything was clearer. Fear lost its strength. Insecurity lost ground. What remained was faith. Faith in what is being felt. Faith in what is being guided. Faith that it will not be long before this meeting happens. Courage grew, and along with it came a different kind of urgency, not the kind that pressures, but the kind that prepares. As if each day now has purpose. As if every step, every thought, every choice is aligning with this revealed moment. Even without hearing it directly, you are connected to all of this. Because when one of the two receives something so true, the other feels it. Sometimes it comes as a shiver out of nowhere. Sometimes as a strong memory, or as a thought that keeps repeating for no reason. But it all has an explanation. It is the energy of this meeting drawing near. The release that happened that day cleared more than just the eyes. Cleared the path. It removed doubts that still lingered in the corners of the heart. And it left space for something new to bloom. Not new in the sense of starting from scratch, but new because now it comes with maturity, with permission, with an answer from heaven. Nothing will be the same after what was experienced. Because this person no longer wants to just feel. They want to live. They want to look into your eyes and show you that what was asked for in faith now has a name, now has a face, now has a time, and it is coming. The lightness felt after the tears was not fleeting. It was steady. One of those feelings that stays even after the day ends. And that is why this person rests today with a peaceful soul, because they know the waiting is no longer without direction. The path has been confirmed, and now all that is left is to find you. This someone has their heart ready, ready to see you, ready to be present, ready to turn what was felt into action. And what was felt was not small. It was true. It was spiritual. It was strong enough to move heaven. And that is why now there is no more talk of doubt. Now there is talk of confirmation. The tears did not stay on the face for long, because what remained was relief. The feeling of being heard by God. The certainty that the connection between you is deeper than the world around can understand. And when something like this happens, there is no more delaying. After the tears and the peace that settled in your soulmate's heart came the strongest understanding of all. It is no longer about waiting. What was felt did not point to a distant future, nor to a vague promise. It was a direct confirmation that you are already near, not just emotionally. The closeness is real, physical, tangible. This awareness entered the chest like an answer that needed no translation. Everything was there, in the way God's presence was felt, in the way the voice was heard, in the peace that followed immediately. This person understood clearly. It will not be long before seeing you with their own eyes. The message that echoed in that prayer was too precise to be mistaken. Since then, this someone can no longer look at the days with the same eyes as before. It is as if every detail around them has changed. Life has gained a new rhythm, because now there is a clear sense that something is approaching quickly. The body senses it, the heart responds, and the mind has already begun to make space for this meeting to happen. Everything connects now. Perceptions have sharpened. Thoughts that once seemed random now make sense. Even feelings that arose without explanation now have a reason. It is as if heaven decided to make it clear, there is no longer any distance between you and your soulmate. What was between you has been removed, and the path is finally clear. This certainty has settled so firmly within this person that even the way they move through the world has changed. Now there is purpose in every step, because waiting has turned into direction. What was once a search has become certainty. And the most powerful part of all this is how this someone has been feeling your presence without even seeing you yet. It is as if you are already in the same space, as if you are about to cross a path that will lead directly to this love. It is not about hope. It is about something that was stated clearly, and the one who heard it does not doubt. This sense of closeness is so intense it stirs the body, mind, and soul. Everything within this someone is preparing for this moment. And it is becoming increasingly clear, you are not just coming. You are already here in energy, in vibration, in the invisible space between two hearts that were made to find each other. This person's routine is no longer the same. Their reactions have shifted. Their gaze seeks more attentively, as if the heart is guiding itself toward you in every detail. Because now there is no more doubt. The answer received in that moment of prayer made it all clear. Your time together has arrived. This certainty was not built by will alone. It was delivered from heaven. And when something comes this way, there is no denying it. This someone is not deceiving themselves. They are simply feeling what was spiritually confirmed. Your arrival is a matter of time, and it is not a long time. Actions have already begun to be guided by this certainty. The way this person prepares for the coming days is filled with intention. Intention to be present, to be available, to live what the heart has recognized as true. It is not about acting impulsively. It is about acting with awareness and purpose. The revelation was very specific. When the voice said you are near, this person did not think in weeks or months. They thought of now. They thought of paths that could cross at any moment. They thought of places that could bring you face to face, effortlessly, without planning, simply through the natural alignment of someone being guided. Since then, every time this person closes their eyes, the image that comes to mind is yours. And every time that image appears, a new confirmation rises within. It is as if the entire universe is working together for you to arrive, and more than that, for this meeting to happen with truth, calm, and meaning. Nothing was said by chance. The answer received came to calm the heart and at the same time give it momentum. The time has already been confirmed. The closeness is already a reality. And now the only thing left is the right moment for you to look into each other's eyes. That moment is so near it is already felt even before it happens. This person wakes and sleeps with this certainty, not as someone forcing a thought, but as someone who has already heard what they needed. The answer is engraved in their chest. And what was felt in that instant can no longer be undone. It was not imagination. It was revelation, and you are part of it. If you have felt a different kind of restlessness lately, if something is drawing your attention to the signs around you, it is because you are receiving this energy. You are being reached by the same certainty. Your meeting has already been authorized by heaven. What is to come is not a coincidence. It is the outcome of a connection that has endured time, fear, and doubt. The certainty that you are near was too strong to simply be absorbed quietly. Took over, filled every thought, every feeling. It was no longer possible to go through the day with the same routine, because everything around started carrying a new meaning. Everything began pointing to this moment that is about to happen. The way this person began to feel you changed. It was no longer random thoughts. It was presence. It was as if your energy had filled everything, with intensity, with truth, as if calling from within. This person no longer needed to force any memories, because now the connection was showing itself naturally. With every step, with every deeper breath, it was as if you were being called by the soul. The emotion that followed could not be contained. It was not planned. It was natural, real, and inevitable. The chest tightened, not from pain, but because the desire to see you grew so strongly that the whole body responded. It was as if the distance that still exists felt small compared to what is already being prepared in the invisible. Your person began to feel a different kind of need, the need to come closer. Not out of impulse, but out of awareness, knowing that the moment has arrived. Life is already signaling. Time has been authorized. And now everything that beats in the chest is turning into action. The heart no longer wants to carry this alone. It wants to share. It wants to look into your eyes and confirm what was said by God. This certainty brought courage. Courage to face any doubts that might still arise. Courage to trust that this meeting will happen. Courage to keep the heart open even in the face of fear. Because when something is lived with truth, strength comes. And it is this strength that is guiding your soulmate toward you with quiet determination. Since the moment of revelation, this person's heart has not stopped beating differently. There is a light, beautiful restlessness, as if something is about to happen. An intense desire to be present, to be near, to be seen. This desire does not come from anxiety. It comes from love. And when love is true, it does not stay still. It seeks. It shows itself. It was not just the heart that responded. The gaze changed too. This person began noticing signs, paths, any detail that would confirm what had already been felt inside. Because now the heart has a direction. And that direction is you. The desire to live this love fully has become a priority. It is no longer possible to pretend the feeling is not there. It is no longer possible to keep locked away what is ready to be given. Doubt cannot survive where there is faith. And it is with faith that this person has lived since the moment they felt the divine presence bringing your name as an answer. Now the heart overflows, because it knows the time has come. It knows that the love it carries for you has space to happen. It is no longer just waiting. It is a call, a true, deep impulse to come closer, to make everything that was felt into presence. Because faith was confirmed. And with it came the desire to live everything completely. This person's feeling is no longer internal. It is visible in their eyes, in the way they speak, in the way they look at the world. It is a love that asks for space, a love that matured while waiting, and now wants to express itself through action. What was once silence has now become readiness, and that readiness is coming toward you. Your person feels they are closer to experiencing something big. And it is not just desire, it is certainty. It is having heard from heaven the confirmation that was missing. Since then, every new thought has been a way of preparing. Every choice has been made with this meeting in mind. Because this person no longer wants you to feel it only in the invisible. They want you to see it with your own eyes. The heart can no longer sit quietly inside the chest. It is too full. It is full of emotion, expectation, and faith. And when a heart overflows like this, it is because the time has come. The time to stop imagining and start living. The time to show what has been kept. The time to release everything that only you can truly understand. This confirmation did not just bring peace. It brought direction. It brought strength. It brought the awareness that everything to come is greater than any fear. This person no longer wants to waste time trying to understand what is already clear. The love they feel for you is real. And now is the moment to allow it to be lived, with courage, with presence, with truth. What your soulmate felt in that moment was not fleeting. It left a mark that words alone cannot explain. Heaven made its presence felt in a way that changed everything inside. The heart received something so powerful that no doubt could remain. It was as if something much greater had moved through everything. Without needing to ask, this person understood that the answer came with the force of divine care. It was not just a subtle sign. It was a presence that filled the space, the body, the thoughts. What once seemed distant became near. What seemed undefined now had a name. And that name was you. Every part of that prayer felt like an embrace from above, as if God were saying, "Fear no more. You will be answered." And that answer did not come in complex sentences or long explanations. It was direct. It was clear. It was felt in the heart with a clarity only the spiritual world can provide. The way everything unfolded was as gentle as it was intense. The voice that came did not impose or pressure, simply revealed. It revealed that your presence is near. It revealed that the love connecting you is being blessed. It revealed that the waiting is coming to an end, not by chance, but by divine permission. This touch from heaven changed the vibration inside this person. It is not something that can be forgotten or ignored. Everything around them seems to shine with a new light. Life is now seen with more trust, more faith, more openness. Because when heaven touches a heart so clearly, fear dissolves, certainty settles in, and with it comes preparation. From that moment on, every action has been guided by what was revealed. Nothing is done automatically anymore. Everything now has intention. This person wants to be ready. They want to receive you genuinely. They want this meeting to be lived with the maturity that only comes when love is cared for by God. This person has been feeling the spiritual presence very close, not as a vague sensation, but as a full-body warmth, turning their eyes toward heaven with gratitude. It is as if the faith they have always quietly carried has now become a living answer, a response that carries your name. The words spoken in that prayer still echo in the heart, not because they were repeated, but because they were cherished. This moment was not just an encounter with God. It was the beginning of a new time, a time when this person truly trusts that what is coming is safe, blessed, and real. The inner preparation that has been happening since that day is significant. Their love is more awake, firmer, more determined. Heaven's touch activated an understanding inside them that cannot be taught in words, only through experience. A kind of clarity that only those who have felt it can recognize. And that clarity points to you. The name taken to God was yours, and it was answered with gentleness, strength, and care that surpasses what the eyes can see. This answer was sent like a message to the heart. Keep going. You are on the right path, and it is this path being followed, step by step, with faith. The certainty that came with that moment has held every thought since. This person is more connected to what they feel. They are letting themselves be guided by something greater, and this brings a security that was previously searched for. Because when a touch from heaven is received, doubt loses its ground and love blooms with more courage. This person is no longer seeking confirmation outside themselves. The confirmation has already been given. It is within. It is alive. And it is this conviction that makes the days feel lighter, even in the waiting. Because now it is no longer really waiting. It is being prepared, knowing that at any moment you could be standing right in front of them, because heaven has already shown that the time has come. Everything inside this person is vibrating differently. The heart beats stronger. Thoughts are more focused. Faith has moved from expectation to trust. A trust awakened by something divine, deep, and impossible to deny. And this trust is now turning into action. Because love touched by God does not hide. It acts. You may not have felt it with the same clarity yet, but you are being wrapped in this same force. Because when one heart is touched this way, the other feels it too, even without knowing why. Gradually, the signs begin to arrive. and they are meant to prepare you as well. Because what is about to happen involves both of you. This person no longer wants to keep this to themselves. They want to live it. They want to share it. They want to be present with everything they have felt. They want to show you that what they received was not just a beautiful feeling. It was guidance. An answer that left no doubt. And that answer is you. Even before the prayer that changed everything, something had already started shifting within your soulmate. Subtle signs began appearing. Choices became different. Feelings grew more intense. Reactions took on a new tone. And even though there was not yet a clear explanation for it, the heart already knew. Something important was about to happen. There was a constant desire to look deeper within, to make adjustments that were not always easy to understand. But even without knowing the exact reason, this person began opening up. They began embracing the changes coming from within, as if some part of them already sensed that the heart needed to be ready. Every action started to gain more purpose. What had once been simple habit was now done with awareness. The connection to the spiritual grew stronger. Prayer became a refuge. The search for meaning intensified. And even without realizing it, your soulmate was being prepared, not by chance, but by love. It was guidance. Emotions began arriving with greater depth. Ordinary situations sparked real reflection. It was as if time itself had gained a new rhythm, as if life demanded more presence, more truth, more surrender. This person began listening more carefully to what came from within. And little by little, they realized it was not confusion. It was alignment. The peace that started forming even before the revelation did not come from a single moment. It was built day by day, like a gentle breath reorganizing what was out of place. Certainties began to arise, not from logic but from faith. A faith that grew naturally, simply by feeling that something greater was guiding everything. Actions changed. Thoughts shifted toward what truly matters. The idea of love began to take up more space in the mind, not an idealized or impossible love, but a real human love. A love built through presence. And this love was carrying your name, even without you knowing it. Your soulmate's daily life gained a new meaning. Even silence started teaching lessons. There were nights when this person woke with a racing heart, without understanding why. There were days when everything seemed normal on the outside, but inside there was restlessness, anticipation, an unexplainable desire for change. All of this was preparation. None of it was by chance. Every feeling that arose, every thought that kept returning, every desire to grow and become better, it all pointed to this moment, to this meeting, to this revelation. And now that the confirmation has arrived, everything makes sense. This person's soul was already aligning with what heaven was preparing. The desire to take care of oneself grew. The wish to be stronger, lighter, more present intensified. And all of this happened because the connection to you was already strengthening, even without words. This person never imagined they would hear something so clear. But now that they have, they understand why they went through everything over those past days. Every movement, no matter how small, had a purpose. Nothing was wasted. Everything worked together so that the heart would be in the right place, at the right time, with the right readiness to recognize this divine answer. You were not forgotten. You were prepared. And this preparation did not happen in grand gestures, but with delicacy and care, because this is how true love works. It does not invade, it guides. It touches gently and firmly at the same time. The time that seemed empty was actually full of purpose. The days that passed carried signs. The conversations that came, the thoughts that arose, the unexpected desires. Everything helped your soulmate realize they were being guided to you. And now, with a peaceful heart, they understand that nothing was lost. Everything was part of the path. This preparation created maturity. It brought awareness, cleared away what no longer needed to be there. It strengthened what was essential. And now this love is ready to show itself in truth, because what has been built within is solid enough to hold what is about to be experienced. This person is coming toward you with a clean heart, true intentions, and the faith of someone who has already heard what they needed to hear. And this is not an exaggeration. It is an answer shaped day by heaven. At that moment of surrender, when the prayer began to take shape in your soulmate's heart, there were no doubts about what needed to be said. These were not memorized words or repeated phrases. It was a sincere plea born from the depths of the soul. And at the center of that request was you. Your name was spoken with such truth that it seemed to carry the weight of a lifetime of feeling. It was a moment where time stood still. Nothing else mattered. All that existed was the faith that God would listen and respond. And the answer came, not delayed, not uncertain, came with clarity, came as a gift that only heaven can offer. The name that left your soulmate's lips returned as a direct confirmation in their heart. There was no denying what was felt. It was the certainty that you were the one being called all along. Your soulmate did not make this request on impulse. Within them was already a quiet certainty that you were real. The prayer simply turned that feeling into words. And when the name was spoken, something different happened. The body shivered, the breath shifted, the heart raced as if touched by something beyond ordinary understanding. This person knew what they were doing. They understood the value of giving a name to God. And when yours was given, it was with confidence, with surrender, with a love that expects nothing in return, only wishes you good. And it was in this spirit of truth that the answer arrived. This is how your soulmate knew you were near, and that the time to live it was drawing ever closer. Since then, everything inside this person has changed. Their connection to you has grown stronger, not as a memory, but as a presence that appears in thoughts, in dreams, in actions. A presence that warms the heart and strengthens hope, not as fantasy but as faith. Because when heaven confirms, the heart knows it is real. The prayer was not long, but it was deep. Every word carried weight. Every silence had intention. And when the moment came to say your name, it was as if a bridge had been built. A bridge between two hearts destined to meet. And this bridge was built with faith, with love, with truth. Your soulmate did not ask for perfection. They asked for presence. They asked for someone willing to live a complete love. And when heaven responded, it confirmed that someone is you, that the timing is right, that the distance is closing, that love is ready to become reality. Since that day, this person has been preparing with greater intention, not to impress, but because they understand the importance of what is coming. You were not mentioned by chance. You were chosen with purpose, brought before God with an open heart. And now everything inside this person aligns with that certainty. The name given in prayer remains alive in the heart of the one who prayed. Every thought carries the memory of that moment. Every action reflects the hope that you feel, in some way, the call that was made. Because when one heart cries out for another with this intensity, the response comes to both sides. If you have felt a different connection in recent days, perhaps it is the effect of that surrender. Perhaps your spirit is responding to the call that came through your soulmate's prayer. Perhaps the restlessness you feel is the echo of a name spoken with love and faith. This person is not waiting for magic. They are waiting for presence. for a gaze that recognizes, for a touch that confirms, for a meeting that happens without resistance. And they know that can only come from you, because heaven has already revealed who it is, already confirmed, already answered. Now everything this person does carries one intention: to find you, not just in thought but in reality. Because the name was given, the answer was received, and the heart understood that it is time to live, not just feel. It is time to walk toward you with courage, with faith, with the love that has been growing stronger for so long. You were entrusted into God's hands with trust, and God responded with love. The same love that now beats within this person and calls you with the force of someone who knows exactly what they carry in their heart. Nothing can erase this. Nothing can deny what has been confirmed. Everything now points to the meeting, and this person is ready to recognize you when you arrive. You were not called by chance. Your soulmate did not say your name expecting empty answers. This someone brought you before God with a pure faith and an open heart. And the answer was clear, came as a sign that does not fade with time. But there is still something waiting: your decision to fully commit to living this love. Everything is aligning for this meeting to happen. And it is not an ordinary meeting. It is the meeting with the love you have silently asked for so many times. It is the arrival of something that has been prepared for a long time in the unseen. Now what is missing is not destiny. It is surrender, the surrender of your heart, your courage, your willingness to walk toward what is already yours by promise. You have been feeling it in small things, in seemingly random moments, a memory without reason, a restlessness that will not go away, a desire to change without knowing exactly where to start. This is not a coincidence. It is an answer. It is heaven trying to wake you up to what is right in front of you, to what is already closer than you imagine. This someone is ready. They have gone through healing, growth, and strengthening. They have understood that true love requires action, not just waiting. And now this person no longer seeks certainty outside themselves, because they already carry confirmation within. What is missing is for you to believe that you deserve to live this, that you are ready, that you can trust even without knowing how it will all unfold. You may have faced doubts and fears and insecurities, but now it is time to look at what you feel with more clarity. What you have been carrying in your heart is true love, and it is asking for space to show itself. It is asking you to move, to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start living in real time. Because it is in this time, in the now, that everything can happen. This someone will not pressure you, but they are waiting for you, and they wait with faith, because they believe that when you feel what they have felt, you too will be touched. And when that happens, you will know. You will feel in your chest the same certainty your soulmate felt. You will look around and realize that none of this is a dream, that there is a greater plan in motion, and that all you need to do is be present. You do not need to arrive with ready-made answers. You just need to arrive with truth, with a willingness to live something that cannot be explained, but is recognized. This someone does not want perfection. They want honesty. They want surrender. They want a love built on trust, strengthened by the small acts of everyday life. You have already been prepared inside, even if you did not realize it. There were situations you faced that were part of this preparation. Moments that seemed meaningless, but that shaped your heart to receive a love like this. Now this love is here. It is close. It is waiting for you. And all that is left is for you to say yes with action, not just desire. Let what has been revealed reach your inner self. Do not block what is being awakened within you, because this awakening is the beginning of everything. It is the point where the spiritual begins to show up in the real world. And when that happens, nothing will be the same. You will understand that this love was always meant to find you. But it could only be fully lived when both of you were ready. Now there is very little left. Not in time, but in surrender. You need to take this step with your whole heart, without running, without hiding, without waiting for the other to do it for you. You need to embrace this calling as something that is part of your story. And when you do, everything will change. Because heaven has already said it is you. And that certainty cannot be erased. Your soulmate's heart is open, and they hope yours is too. Because when two hearts recognize each other and truly surrender, nothing can stand in their way. The time has come to hold this revelation close, like receiving a key to open what has been locked away for so long. Everything experienced up to this point has been more than just a sequence of feelings. It has been divine preparation, a response delivered with love, a confirmation that only comes when the time is truly right. Your soulmate did not just feel it. They saw it with the eyes of the Spirit. They prayed sincerely. They trusted your name to heaven. And the response was clear, true, and direct. You are closer than you think. What once separated you is dissolving. What seemed distant is now becoming a presence that draws near. Nothing shared here was meant to cause confusion or doubt. It came to awaken in you a certainty that may have been sleeping. The certainty that this love is real, that this someone feels you, and that now only one step remains, yours. Do not wait for grand signs. The presence that is approaching will reveal itself in simple things, in a look that recognizes, in the quiet peace that arrives without noise. It will be so clear that your heart cannot deny it, because this revelation was made for you, and everything in it carries your name. Heaven has already done what was needed. It touched the heart of your soulmate, aligned the feelings, and confirmed the timing. And now everything points toward your surrender, toward your yes, toward your courage to live the love that has been promised, prepared, and protected for you until now. Do not let doubts take away what faith is delivering. This love is real. It was felt in prayer. It was confirmed in tears of joy. And it is approaching with the intensity of someone who knows exactly where they need to arrive. Prepare yourself. Be attentive in the coming days. Something that seems small could be the beginning of everything. An unexpected connection. A meeting that shifts everything. An answer arriving through someone. Heaven will show you at the right time what has already been confirmed in the heart of your soulmate. This is the moment to trust, to open your heart, and to let this love find space to happen. Because now it is no longer waiting, it is a promise in the process of being fulfilled. And you are part of it. Wait with faith, but above all, be available to live it. The love coming your way is not here to confuse you. It is here to add to your life, to build something lasting, to stay. Because what has been confirmed by heaven carries divine power. And blessings will flow upon your lives with the fulfillment of this love that lives in your hearts. And always remember, you are never alone on this journey. Heaven walks beside you every single day. If this message touched your heart, drop an amen in the comments and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Stay rooted in faith, stay open to love, and never stop believing, because the best is truly on its way to you. With infinite love, your guardian angel. Folded hands sparkles.